Hey everybody, welcome to Body Based by Beth. Today we're all talking about dominant thoughts. What are your dominant thoughts and how are they controlling your life and how are they controlling your results? So basically we all have these thoughts that we predominantly think all day long, most days. And if we go back to Ralph Waldo Emerson, James Allen, they both had quotes of Ralph Waldo Emerson, "You are what you think about all day long." So you have to really start thinking, what are your dominant thoughts? James Allen also wrote, "As a man thinketh," and his quote was, "As a man think in his heart, so he is." And this is also a proverb in the Bible. So think, you are your thoughts are you. So when we start really thinking about our dominant thoughts, most people's dominant thoughts, when you really get to the bottom of it, could be about your family, your health, money, your job, your kids, your relationships. And the bottom line, the underlying dominant thought in predominantly each one of these areas is worry. And the thing is, when our dominant thoughts is our worry, everything that we see is kind of clouded, and we're looking through basically a film of worry all day long. We are in a society these days that is so fast-paced, that is so connected to technology, social media, all the computer, and particularly with COVID, we're even more so having to be connected to technology. And we feel like we have to be going 57 miles an hour or 100 miles an hour all day long. And we're so highly stressed, overstressed, anxious, sleep deprived, and that just seems like everyone's norm, and everyone starts accepting that as a norm. But a lot of it comes back to our dominant thoughts of worry. We think about different situations in your life where you worry, you're doubtful, you're fearful, whether it's with a relationship, whether it's with work, whether it's if you're in school, whether it's with grades or a project or a presentation or a test that you're doing. And you really think, why am I having those thoughts? Is it because of previous results? Because we do not want our previous or current results to dictate what we can accomplish down the road. Because most of these dominant thoughts create our actions, which therefore create our feelings and our results. So we want to change those dominant thoughts. So instead of coming from a place of doubt, fear, and worry, why don't we stop ourselves and think about why we're really worrying? For instance, this past weekend, I had my car, I believe the transmission went out. So I had to leave my car on the side of the road, wasn't sure what was going to happen, still don't know what's going on with my car. The tow truck was going to get it yesterday, couldn't find it. Luckily, they eventually found it. But I could be stressed and worried and overwhelmed, but that's not going to change my situation. So instead, I made light of it. I made jokes. I just have the thought now that no matter what, things will work out. I lead with come from more of a thought process instead of worry and doubt and fear, of confidence, of knowing that things will get done, that things will get accomplished. And that everything will work out for the best. So these are the thoughts that I've changed my mindset to. So we have to really think about changing these dominant thoughts so that we're not anxious and worried. And another thing is, when we lead with worry and doubt and fear, our minds are goal-seeking mechanisms. So your mind, if you're waking up anxious and fearful and worried about what's going to happen that day and what's going to go on, your mind is going to look for every opportunity to find reason to worry, to be fearful and doubtful. So, but if you wake up with more of confidence, the fact that it is going to work out, that, you're excited about what's going to happen, then your mind is going to start looking for those things. It's going to find ways to, allow you to be confident, to find things to be confident about, to find things for you to be excited about. So we really need to start changing those dominant thoughts and change the way we think, and we can truly change our results, and that also will affect our physical health. These dominant thoughts of worry break us down physiologically. It affects our nervous system, our endocrine system, which therefore throws off our hormonal balance. So if we slow down, take some deep breaths, literally some deep breaths, we can actually calm that nervous system, calm that endocrine system, and help to balance those hormones in our body. We are so quick to jump and our sympathetic nervous system is so overactivated. We need to really slow down some and take a breather and start to really fully engage our parasympathetic nervous system, which actually helps slow that nervous system down. Helps us to relax and restore our body more. So let's start changing these dominant thoughts. And you might come up with, maybe you have another thought that, maybe you're worried about, something else. But really think the underlying main dominant thought that most people have is worry. And I was not always like this. Trust me. And some days I still have to, stop myself and think, why am I worrying about that? Can I do anything about that? If I can't do anything about it, why am I worrying? And if I can do something about it, I focus more on what are the things I can do to make that situation better. So instead of stressing and getting all upset about my car breaking down, I said, all right, well, I actually was fortunate. I have a car to use from a friend loaned me a car to use, calling the tow truck, getting it to the mechanic so they can check out, see what's going on. So worst case scenario, I'm going to be looking for a new car. So, that's life. And so you got to roll with the punches and really truly change those dominant thoughts. If you feel yourself getting really overwhelmed, stop yourself and count backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That changes it because this is on the prefrontal ganglia and it's looping around there. The ganglion loop, and you want to switch it. If you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it switches your brain and it sends it to the prefrontal cortex. So you shift where that thought process is going. You shift that habit. And that's the beauty of these dominant thoughts. They are habits, and habits can be changed. So consciously start thinking about why you're worried, why you're stressed, and how that stress or worry is making any changes or difference to that situation. Your dominant thought is kind of like a pathway that you walk on. Think about going to a park and there's a path and it's cleared and it's beaten down because you used it. You go use it over and over again. That's like our dominant thoughts, and it's easy to just fall in there. We do it subconsciously. We don't have to think about it. But if we have to make a conscious effort to change those dominant thoughts and create a new path. And that's creating that new habit. And the more you start changing that thought and going down that new path, then you start beating that down. And guess what happens to the old one? It starts getting overgrown, so it's not as easy to fall down. So once you start changing those thought processes and those new habits, the old ones will go away. And the new one will create a nice path and an easy one for you to follow along with. And that's your thoughts on dominant thoughts. So think positive, confident, happy, excited thoughts about every aspect of your life. So these are the thoughts for the day, your dominant thoughts. Remember, you are your thoughts are you, and you are what you think about all day long. So let's be confident, positive, excited about what we're doing. You guys have a great day. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you back here with some more great information.